Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This episode is dedicated to my repeat customer. That's right, my repeat customer. Years ago, I did a tree in their backyard, and they've asked me back to do another. So let's just get down to this. I know there's a lot of moving parts, and I'm not going to get into everything, but I'm going to try my level best to bring you some interesting things to look at that I do with my chainsaw. My name's Jeff Mohr. I'm the Northwoods Carver, and thanks for seeing what I saw. Welcome back, everyone. I know it's been a while since I made a video, but I am going to do an on-site job coming up today, and I just wanted to fill everyone in about it's called the repeat customer because I did a crazy eagle thing in the backyard of their house on an old oak tree that had, well, unbeknownst to me, it was problematic in that it had about 5 feet of water inside a whiskey barrel type situation. So when I cut the bottom to see if the wood was any good, well, it was like someone turned on a hose, and I had to gut the whole thing. And anyway, it looks cool now. It has looked, I did that back in 2015. So 10 years later, they called me back to do another oak tree. So what you're about to see is all that took place, and fast forward, of course, but hopefully everybody enjoys it. And I know it was fun for me to do. You know, I'm not used to carving oak. My bones, they don't like it. But anyway, that's the deal. And I will see you after this, hopefully, and then, or you'll see me through the whole thing, and then I won't have to see you after. So don't forget to like and subscribe, smash that notification bell, and tell me that you love me. Well, let's get this thing rolling. First, we take the bark off, and my 400 was screaming through that bark. No big deal. It took only just a few minutes to get it all off of there. As you can see, here's the aftermath. And then, of course, I have to draw out what I want to do. Not necessarily for me. I mean, it does help me, but it's more for the customer so they can get an idea of what's going to go where. And so this is fun. So if you don't know how to draw and you're just you're a carver and you suck at drawing, chances are you're not going to be able to push that onto the customer, your ideas anyway. You're not going to be able to give those customers a very good idea of what you want to accomplish. So I would highly recommend learning to draw. The other thing here is you can see I went in as a wedge, and just trying to get my bearings on what the depth's going to be like. I don't want to overdo this. I don't want to create. Oh, looky there! There's my white wolf, Bella. So I don't want to go too deep, and I don't want to make this too complicated. Speaking of not being complicated, there's my new puppy, Daisy Lou. Okay, and then of course we are getting our eyeballs, or our eyelids, I should say, established, and I just want to make a nice subtle face here. We'll bring back some depth up by the hair and the hairline and all that, and then I'm just going to create the flow of the hair coming up next. And it's very fun to do this type of thing, but I think it's because you can just go with any whim you want. And I like to create a lot of flow, and I like to create little nooks in the flow as the catalyst, as to how are we going to display these creatures. We need some way to create a foundation that we can, like the supporting cast needs to be supported. So I usually use hair or sticks or branches. And here's another shot of that with the two owls up top. So this gives me the opportunity to bring some flow upward, and then I have to justify the, oh, there's my faithful girl. I have to justify the hair, right? So it's going to come up and swoop around, spoiler alert, and the bottom will be just tapered off to the right hand side, and the top will be kind of leaning off to the left. And there's my beautiful Bella. I love my girls. Anyway, you can see a little more detail coming in. This is, as you can see, the big tree in the back. I did end up cutting that log for him. He's a really nice little guy, so I gave him a hand. He didn't have a saw big enough, so I just walked back there and made short work. So all of this starts off with an idea, right? You have to have some sort of cohesive thought process. And I have a lot of experience in this type of, flowing, whatever. It's kind of my thumbprint, I guess. Is in the back, I decided to create a cross. She named off a few things, and that she would like to have carved. And this one kind of stuck out to me, so I made it stick out on the wood. So yeah, so I just basically did a relief, and then took out all the surrounding wood, leveled it off the best I could, created an inner cross, and then just textured it with the little my little MSA 120 with the little 6-inch Samurai Legend bar. The other saws I use are the MS400. That's a beautiful saw, by the way. I think I used my 241 on here, and my little 194s with 10 and 12-inch Samura bars. It's pretty cool. And as you can see, my little puppy Squirrely in the back around the tree. So she was a handful that day. Anyway, thankfully, the customers allow me to bring my pets, so that's cool. And here pretty much is the finished product. I used the eater gouge to basically tie in whatever else wasn't carved. It's just a good way to end on a high note, I guess. I wanted to just make it look kind of rustic, but also kind of whimsical. And there's the sun unfortunately never shined on the face side of the wood that day, because there's too many trees. It was just broken light, and I rely heavily on shadow and light. But when I got around to the back, it wasn't too much of a problem. As you can see, my little squiggly marks all over the place, and left a spot for my name, my signature, and pretty much, I was kind of happy with the way it ended up. Oak kind of beat the heck out of me a little bit more than I wanted it to, and you can see the happy customers back there. And there's my oversized Heine sitting in a chair with my dog, the faithful Cadillac in the background, and packing up to go home. Another job well done, Pam. Great job, Bella. Great job, Daisy Lou. They were hardly a nuisance. But anyway, this is it, folks. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I know I did. It was kind of fun to do it. It's a little, like, for me, carving oak is it's so beautiful, but at the same time it can be quite daunting if you're not used to harder woods. And I cut my teeth on oak trees back in the day, and I've just been spoiled rotten with all the white pine. Anyway, everyone, have a good one, and I will see you on the next one.